Let's go. Minister, employers everywhere all over the country are struggling with increased rate costs, pension enrolment costs, auto-enrolment costs, and increased wage costs. Employees and people on social welfare are struggling with the cost of living and all the energy and electricity costs, and indeed all are struggling with the cost of the road and petrol and diesel. And at the same time, last week here inside, we were able to, as a government, the government devoted 125 more million to Mr. Zelensky and the Ukrainians, on top of the almost 6 billion that we've given them over the last 5 years, supporting them here in this country. How long more can we keep supporting or giving out this kind of money? And if we give a million here or a million there to different sectors of our own community, it's discussed here inside in the chamber. That figure or those figures have never been discussed here inside, yet they come from our Irish taxpayers.
Thank you,
and you see, people are scratching their heads, and they actually peg their hats at the government this week over this. And I'm hearing it all across every part of the county.
Thanks, Deputy Healy-Rae. I'll go back to a comment that I made earlier about you. Me and you agree on most things. Me and you don't agree on this. Support for Ukraine is something that we have to do, to be honest about it. You can't have a situation where a country's territorial sovereignty is illegally invaded by a state like Russia, and we don't support it. And I think most people, and I know deep down as well, you agree with the same thing. We have to support them. I mean, their lives have been made an utter and absolute misery by a state that has no regard for international law. But I do agree with you with regard to the small business test and increased costs, and that's why Minister Burke, who is Minister for Enterprise, has now insisted that any memorandum being brought to government with regard to any great idea that any of the 15 of us might have has to pass the small business test in order to make sure that we keep costs on business down. And that's why in your local town of Killarney, that I know, and Kilmare, I'm sure they welcome the reduction of VAT in the budget because it has sustained thousands of jobs all over the country. I know some other people on opposition benches don't agree with it. I agree with it. I know you agree with it because it sustains thousands of jobs in towns like Killarney.
Deputy Ahern.